Group member at St Albans Sanatorium, Halloween 2014. Happy Halloween! As a special treat for the spookiest of holidays, we have a story from Julie, a volunteer at St Albans Sanatorium and friend of Spooky Appalachia, who was kind enough to do a live stream with us a while back. You can hear this story, which she told us when we first met her while touring St Albans, as well as many others on our live stream from August 27th.
Okay, I'll tell you the one that you told me before that you liked the most.
Yeah.
This is my first when I was first up there, and like I said, I was working a haunted house. And my set, I was upstairs in the second floor hallway, and people would come down the hallway, and I'd pop out of a room. There was a little patient room there, and had a big hole in the door, and it was like perfect for me, like, stick my head. If you can imagine, I'm like done up like some kind of something straight out of hell. And I'd stick my head through that door, and then really scare them, because then I'd pull my head out and fling the door open, chase them down the hall, and lead them off to where they need to. Then my partner's at the end, he'd lead them off where they need to go down the stairs. Right. So that's your little set. So one of my daughters, she was supposed to come to the haunted house, and she had just started dating somebody new. I'd never met him, and she was telling me that, he had been kind of talking smack, he's one of those, that stuff don't scare him, so she's like, Mama, you guys scare him. So I'm like, I'll do my best. So they come, it's Halloween night, and they come about 30 minutes before closing. Now that weekend it was rainy and cold and damp, so everybody's coming in, everybody's got hats on, it's dark, and so I'm standing there and I hear a group coming, and I'm waiting, and I hear my daughter giggling. So I was like, oh, here they come. So I'm in this room, and I'm looking out this hole, and I see two young men go by, and I see my daughter, Heather, and then another girl behind her. So I stick my head out the hole, and I do my thing, and I come running out. I go around my daughter and her friend, this other young lady, because my focus is on the two guys. I don't know which one's her boyfriend, but one of them is, and I'm going to scare one of the other. Which I did. I will say, sorry, I'm going to put him out there. He did kind of screech like a little girl and run back. So I run out, and I run around the girls, and I did my thing, and they go down the hall and around the side, and I went down to my partner down at the end, because now everybody, they go out in the hall, down the stairwell to go downstairs to the next level. And I says to this guy I'm working with, I said, see that girl there? That's my daughter. I says, not the one in the very back, the next one, the one that's laughing like a fool, right? I said, it's my daughter. So I turn around and go back down the hallway. My girl comes back around me, and she hugs me, and she's laughing. She's like, you got him, Mama. Well, that girl was still behind her. So I wait. I'm like, hi, I'm Heather's mom. And they leave. But the girl, let me tell you, this girl, she looked like she was bored to death. If you can imagine the average middle school girl, hoodie on, pouty. She didn't look like she was having a good time, but whatever. So when I got to talk to my daughter about them coming, it was like Sunday. And so I was like, did y'all like it? Did you have a good time? And I says, this girl, I said, she didn't look like she was having fun. Did she have any fun at all? She looked bored. And I was like, what girl? I said, I guess it was the other guy's girlfriend. I don't know. And she's like, Mom, there wasn't nobody else with us. And I'm like, don't you be lying to me. Don't lie to me, because I'm in that building, And she's like, no. Well, it was just the three of them. But I know darn good and well but the thing is, it stayed with my daughter. Wherever she walked, this girl was behind her. But she never saw her, but she's just as real as anybody else. But when I was talking about it, she said, well, no, the only people I saw besides me and the two guys, she says, was you, Mom. She says, the guy and the other lady at the end of the hall he was working with. And I'm like, what lady at the end of the hall?
Oh.
She saw a lady in a nurse's uniform, which had nothing to do with what our hunt. So we both saw somebody that looked legit, real, but we're the only people that saw it.
Yeah.
And that's the one that gets me, because that's the one that makes me question any group that comes through when I'm working a haunted house. Okay, I see 5 people. Is it really 5 people? Or is it like 2 or 3 and a couple lagging along? You never know.
You never know.
But and she was just as real as anybody.
Thank you, Julie, for this story. It's always wonderful to hear you tell it, and we're excited to feature more of your stories here in the future. If you live close to Radford, Virginia, be sure to check out the haunted house at St Albans every fall. You can find information on that and other exciting events at www.stalbansvirginia.com. Remember, if you have a story you would like to see get published here, you can email us at webmaster@spookyappalachia.com. Thank you to our patrons, Alvin, Charles, Donald, Jeff, Josh, Julia, and Shannon, and thank you for listening.